So welcome back, everyone. Well, monsoon season is right here, and right now we're going to be talking with a guest that has now been on with me. Oh my gosh, I don't know if it's a dozen times already now or more.
More than that.
I think so. I have with me Theresa Kiernan, and she's with DRYLUX Restoration. And oh my God, what a time! Great time to be on here because so much is about around the corner. And what you have said that you wanted to do was sort of educate people on what to look for. The signs are really important, and why it's so important to have somebody who is a professional come out and give you a free estimate, which is what you all do, and why they shouldn't call their insurance company first. Welcome back to the show. I absolutely love this lady. She's a doll.
Thank you, Carol. And of course, I'm Theresa Kiernan with DRYLUX Restoration. And yes, I point out, especially with monsoon, right around the corner. I guess the official date is next week. However, we've already had some rains, but definitely, as Carol said, just a touch point. Before you do call the insurance, I mean, understandably, anybody's going to panic. Call an expert out. Let us go ahead and take a look at it to see if, in fact, it is something you definitely do want to file with your insurance when it comes to that, or if you do not. In some cases, you might have a higher deductible, and I know we're going right to the insurance. You might have a higher deductible, and it might make sense not to file that claim and pay out of pocket. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of factors that tie into that initial phone call being made. Right off the bat, it's going to be recorded, and regardless, it's going to affect your rate.
It's a claim.
It's a claim. It's a claim that's filed. So there's no going back. We had a gal just last week, and we do also take care of mobile homes and manufactured homes. Just so you all know, there, I guess, were some companies that did not want to go out and look. So somebody did call us, and it was a plumbing company that I know really well, and they did, say, hey, we had a client, da-da-da-da-da. We went out there. She did not want to file her claim because her deductible, it was a $5,000 deductible, and to do the repair that we did, it wasn't even close to that. So the one thing she stated was, I do not want to call and file a claim. I do not want my rates to go up.
Right, and your rates will go up.
Right.
The other thing is that I want you to tell them a little bit about your background because of why it's not just she's saying this because she's with DRYLUX. You have a history, a very long history of working in the insurance area.
Yeah, I do.
Arena.
Yes, so I am very familiar. I'm still a licensed insurance agent in Arizona. So one of the issues that I always had was, when a consumer would call because their rates have gone up, why is my rate so high and da-da-da, or why will this company not insure me, and it comes down to claims. And the number one that insurance companies would frown upon are water claims. They do not like water claims. It affects the rate. Some companies do not need, have to insure you. There's a lot of factors that tie in. A lot of the insurance companies that I do work with DRYLUX, the one thing they always say is they just cringe when a client does call in and they immediately want to file a claim. They do want to have it looked at. Of course, it does need to be looked at by a licensed professional. That does make a difference because you do need to make sure that, they are a company. It's not a DIY company that's out there, but a company that is out there, that is reputable, that is certified, that does have the knowledge and experience going in the event that there is a claim.
Now, DRYLUX wants you to think of them. Exactly that's what they want. And then right in here, when you look at this room, you're going to love the color blue because it's all over the place here. And one thing about Theresa, that she loves to bring all her swag for everybody, and we have it in the room. DRYLUX has been around for 18 years. They're located in Gilbert, but they work statewide. They do free in-home estimates, and that is the key right there. But we all, when something happens, the first thing you think of is, I gotta call my insurance company. Hold tight before you do something like that. Call and talk to the people at DRYLUX, because they can come in and do that consultation for you, find out how much this is really gonna cost you. Is it worth it to make that phone call? They're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they do both residential and commercial. They want you to know what they bring to you is quality and experience. Their phone number to call, they have two of them. It's gonna be 602-881-1398, or you can call Theresa and talk to her at 480-750-8220. Do not call your insurance company first. Write this number down, put it in your phone, and put it under reputable, restoration company. I gotta talk about you because you're the most loveliest little lady I've ever met. And I just love the way that she did this intro and everything, and you worked so hard on it. I'm gonna read it, okay?
Okay.
So, hi everyone, it's Theresa with DRYLUX Restoration. I'm excited to be here with Carol today. With monsoon season already making its entrance, we want to make sure that you know what to look out for and when it's time to give DRYLUX a call before small problems turn into big disasters. And are you not telling it like it is right there? Because that's what happens. You also are somebody who has gone through and walked in these people's shoes, because recently you had a flood that got over.
I went through a big disaster. Well, as you know, as you did too.
I did. I lost my home.
And I know we talk about this a lot because I ignored it for years. I mean, truthfully, I did. And
it got to the point where it was so smelly.
It got to, and I thought something died, and you make a long story short, no, it was, I always say water will find a way. Water will find a way. I was one that ignored what I should have been looking for. The smell is that's a number one. Smell is a dead giveaway. If you see anything, discoloration down on the baseboard or anything, mine was
water dripping
with the shower, water dripping, a smell in a different room, especially if it's piggybacking a bathroom. Even if it's a closet, which that's where mine ended up going into, but it was my master bath that went into a full, mother-in-law suite, so to say, which is a full-blown walk-in closet that completely had to be gutted. My bathroom had to be gutted. It was an absolute mess, all because the shower was not sealed correctly, and I ignored it because I didn't pay attention. I knew better. I just didn't.
You didn't want to deal with it because you knew that it was going to be an issue. But you've learned, and you know what?
Yeah.
The thing is that by you going through what you did, you protect everybody else to not do that.
You have to.
Go ahead. She's got the Fast Five. Let me tell you about the Fast Five that she came up with, okay? Number one is bubbling or sagging drywall, discolored spots on ceiling or walls, floors that feel soft or spongy.
Meaning
That's
of carpeting,
okay.
laminate, the padding with carpeting, or if it feels like cardboard. That means the water was there and it dried up already. Crunchy.
Crunchy. You do not want crunchy floors.
And when it's separated from your floor, if you're going around it and you see the border of the floor, what do they call that?
I don't know. I'm a radio host.
Okay.
I don't know.
I forgot, but it's, yeah.
It's okay. It doesn't matter. If you're dealing with anything that looks different,
Right.
it's probably something going on. A sudden increase in allergy symptoms like mold warnings, those are things that you got to look out for.
Even with your pets.
And with your pets as well.
Yes.
So again, that phone number to call is 602-881-1398. Also, Teresa's phone is 480-750-8220. It's extension 220. They bring you quality and experience. Their website is DRYLUX.com. They're both residential and commercial. And what they're really saying, more than anything, folks, that they want you to think of DRYLUX when it comes to restoration. Please do not call your insurance company first. call them, have them come out, they'll do a free estimate for you. It's free to do, it makes sense to have them, because if you're gonna be paying out of pocket anyway, why start a claim? So again, they're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. They've been around for 18 years, whether it's for, right now we're talking about monsoon season because it's around the corner, and that's really the time when most people think that they need you, but there's also other reasons. Fire, right? There could be wind, hail, we all know
Right.
that as well.
Plumbing,
HVAC, but also biohazard, which I
Biohazard
also
as
like
well,
to talk
yes.
about, because you know something, we never think about that, we don't like to talk about it, but folks, when it happens, you are the one that has to clean it up. So you can check them out on their website, it's DRYLUX.com, again, 602-881-1398, or 480-750-8220, extension 220. Hang tight, we're gonna be back in just a minute. Now, here's what's different, right, what's gonna happen here right now, we're still live in the room, so we're gonna still talk.
Pets. Did
Pets.
you know pets, you can actually, I didn't know that, I just learned that.
That pets can tell you when there's a problem because of their eyes.
When their eyes really start to get runny and goopy,
Mhm.
that can be a sign, yeah. Believe it or not,
We need to talk about
they
pets
could
sometimes.
have allergies, I just found that out. Yeah, I had never, I did not know.
And that you do mobile home and manufacture, that's
We
the first
do
time you
mobile
said that.
home and manufacturing.
Okay.
The gal that called, yeah, and she was so adamant, she said, I had a water claim years ago, please, I do not even wanna call the
Right,
insurance company.
yeah, cause you know what happens, it really gets messy. Instead of you thinking that they're gonna be on your side, they're really not on your side.
Yeah, she
It's
was-
unfortunate, but that's the way it
And
is.
she was really, I was really happy that we could help her. I had to question, oh my gosh, a mobile home, and no, we do, which,
I think that's great that they do, cause a lot of people, they don't, and some of those people, some of the worst things happen to them because, you know, they're in these little small mobile type homes, they're not built the
Right.
same way. They're not built with the structure that these.
right, the older ones are not, the newer ones are amazing.
Available 24/7.
You know, but yes, it was very nice to find that out, you know what I mean, so.
It's interesting what you find out when you work for a restoration company, you know?
There's a lot that I've learned, you
Absolutely.
know, it's, I
I
was
mean,
blinded by
it's
many
all-
things, you know.
Oh, here's another one, we didn't talk about when a home smells like wet dog.
Well, believe it or not, yes. Jennifer, I did not know that.
No, but when your dog, if your house smells like wet dog, I'm not coming over.
It's an odor.
Yes, it is an odor, but where is that coming from?
Right.
Now, when you guys
Especially
came,
right around monsoon, after monsoon, so if you look, you're gonna notice a lot of different things when the rain happens, after the rain
right,
happens.
it's usually after the rain that happens. But the thing is that they don't maintain it. They're not maintaining, they're not doing what they need to do.
No.
And they might have even had an issue that wasn't taken care of properly, maybe they
Yes.
tried to do it themselves, and now they've got trouble, you know?
That's why now you're building it up because we're ignoring those signs.
Mhm.
Even like a cracked tile on your roof.
Yeah, and a lot of people do that, they don't even look at their roofs until the
no.
water's coming in through, right?
Yeah, and at that time it's too late. And I'm speaking to a plumber, which I did not know until the realization of that. Even with the plumbing, what ties into those pipes is cleaning off those pipes, making sure the pipes are cleaned properly, especially if you have a unit outside, making sure that nothing is around it.
And all of them are
And they're
outside.
wrapped correctly, if there's wrap on them.
Here we go.
A lot I've learned the last couple days.
So welcome back, everyone. We are talking with Theresa Kiernan, and she's with DryLux, and we have been talking a little bit about monsoon season here. During the break, we're on talking to Facebook land. I love doing that. We always get to, what really more than anything, I learned so much about all the different things that really come up, and love the 30-minute segments myself. We've been talking about smelly dogs and how they can also affect you because, you know, they're probably smelly for a reason. And right now, you've been saying that sometimes those types of odors, even from your animals or things that are happening, could be from what's happening in your home.
Correct, which I did not, and then this is news to me. Our bodies are very sensitive when it comes to mold, so are animals. So I was advised by a shared with a veterinarian, that also animals can sense that as well, which I know mold is bad, but they can also show signs of something that could be that's agitating to them, so it could be an early indicator as well. Just like the odor, the smell, which I had no idea that, I know Carol was reading where a wet dog smell, to where there's a unique smell. If you've given a dog a bath, there's a certain smell of an odor, but it also can tie in, because I had a plumber point that out. He goes, it smells like a wet dog. And he goes, they never had a dog, but they had a water leak.
So here's some of the things that she also wants you to know. When you're talking about smells like that, musty smells, it's early signs of mold. That's number one.
Right.
Number two, mold can start growing within 24 to 48 hours.
Especially in this heat right now. It's supposed to be like 114 on Sunday here in the valley. But regardless, with this heat, especially when it ties in with the rain, it's like you're having an incubator.
Right.
So think about that. That's why I wore black today. So you have the black and black. I mean, look for the speckled. If somebody sees that little bit of white on the walls, you might see a little, like if you were to have something go moldy in a refrigerator, that can happen in your wall. It can happen outside the wall, inside the wall.
And they offer moisture detection and fast mitigation to prevent bigger problems. Being on top of it is really so important, and not putting your heads in the sand. One of the things that they want you to know is, please do not just call your insurance company. You're going to have a high deductible no matter what, so it might behoove you to have them come out and do a free, it's an estimate for you, and find out, what is this going to really cost me? And if it's under that threshold of your deductible, pay it out of pocket so that you don't have what did you call a claim?
A claim.
Because that claim you don't want, because they will raise you, and some people have even gotten turned away.
They've gotten turned away, and I mean, it's a fact. It's nothing that's
is what it is.
Unfortunately, it is. It is what it is. And then just like we also, in the event that a customer just flat out says, well, no, I just do not want to pay out of pocket, regardless of the cost. And if there's issues with the cost, we do offer financing as well.
So
for the clients.
They're 24/7 for you. They've been around for 18 years. They're located in Gilbert, but they work statewide. They're going to do a free in-home estimate for you. They're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Their website is DRYLUX.com, both residential and commercial, and now they're telling me that they just found out, that Theresa just found out, they do work with mobile homes and manufactured homes, and I had just said to Theresa, a lot of those poor people, oh my God, their roofs go flying off so easy because they're not made the same way.
Yeah, some of those, unfortunately, if the roofs go off, that's a little bit more.
Well, that's just terrible, but I was just making fun.
Yeah.
You gotta laugh a little. If I can lose my house in a Northridge earthquake, I'm telling you, you gotta learn to laugh
and
afterward.
Carol is very familiar when it comes to disaster, and you're violated.
Yeah,
you are.
That is so true.
It's in talking about that, in a sense, in the event that there is any type of say there is a restoration that does need to be done with DryLux. I know we talk about what's the first thing you do. If there is any type of flooding, you shut off electric and water. You need to really make sure that you are protected as well.
Mm-hmm.
Also, immediately too, before any company ever comes in, video and photos. Make sure you are documenting everything. We do offer a pack in and pack out service as well. In the restoration process, we say if somebody were to use, they do use us to do that. It's good for the homeowner, to know, and it's more of it's a sense of ease, knowing that you also know what you've had there, and it's always good because I know I watch a lot of different shows when it comes to restoration. There's a lot of folks that do not remember because it's a shock, because it is tragic, and it
can be very.
It's now your space. And
Your stuff.
You're being violated. Not only were you violated by this disaster, But now you're being violated in a sense. Some do feel that you have crews that are coming in.
Yeah, crews coming in and they
That-
don't do it fast and they're taking a long
And
time.
So that documentation, everything is so important, but safety first, making sure electric, water shut off, know where that is, and never step into any rising water, especially with us going into monsoon.
Yeah, and you know,
Because you
that
do not
includes
want to-
outside and inside.
That's outside and in, because you do not want to risk anything. But it does tie into, I feel, when it comes to restoration, because in Arizona, everything can happen so quickly.
It does, and you don't know when that monsoon's gonna be really bad,
Right.
right? You know, it looks like it's gonna dissipate, sometimes it's different across the street than it is from you, right?
That's correct.
I mean, it's all the time.
I've videoed that.
And
Yeah,
here's what I
especially out
love
here in
about my
California.
show. And I love my show. And the reason why I do is because of all this great information. Are we having fun here right now? Absolutely
Yes.
we are. But we're talking about something that's really important to everybody out there, especially for the people that live here in Arizona that go through this, is the education that you get and having the information. Please, folks, put the number in your phone, whether it's for you or someone that you know. That is what networking is all about, because everybody knows if it didn't happen to you, you know somebody that it happened to for
Right.
sure, and especially when it comes to this. Now, when you look in the room right now, because I'm live on Facebook, you can see all of this blue, and Theresa loves to bring her swag in here, and you see all these blowers. Those are the little squishy things that you can, stress balls. Right, pens, they have all sorts of things that they love to give out because they want you to think of DRYLUX when it comes to restoration. Whether that also is for biohazard, for, you know, fire, for water, for pets, all sorts of things
Right.
that you need to make sure that you think of DRYLUX when this happens. They are located here in Gilbert. They have been around for 18 years, and what they want you to know is that they bring you quality and experience. They all have, a lot of them have walked in your shoes, so they know what this feels like. They want to make sure that you're taken care of, because they know that when this happens to anybody, you feel like you're just up, you're off kilter for the rest, like, until it's done.
Right, exactly. I mean, we for, like, especially me, even the folks in the office, and like you, Carol. I mean, we want to treat it as if it were our own. We know how it feels. We've been there, and we want to make sure it's done correctly. From start to finish.
The phone number to call is 602-881-1398. If you want to talk with Theresa, she can also help you at 480-750-8220 to extension 220. You can check them out on the website. It's DryLux.com. They're both residential and commercial. They do free in-home estimates. They're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. They work statewide 24/7. They're here to help you. Both also mobile homes and manufactured homes as well. What should we leave them with? No, let's go ahead and read that. You want to go ahead and do that, or should I do it for you?
Go ahead.
Okay, so
Yeah, I like
she
my
said, I
glasses on.
love how she writes everything out. It's monsoon season is no joke in Arizona, and neither is water damage. Don't wait until the signs are obvious. If something doesn't feel right, call DRYLUX Restoration. We're family owned, available 24/7, and we care about projecting your home, or not projecting, I said it wrong, protecting your home like it's our own. And we just said that. And you know what? They want you to stay safe, stay dry, and remember, when disaster strikes, call DRYLUX. That number to call again, it's 602-881-1398. Or you can also call Theresa at 480-750-8220, extension 220. What do you want to say? Hurry up. What are you going to say? Did you want to say something?
Did I want to say something?
Yeah,
Stay safe, folks.
And be dry.
Be dry and be safe.
Both residential and commercial. You can check them out on their website. It's DryLux.com. They're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. They've been around for 18 years. They want you, when you think of, if anything happens to you, they want you to think of DryLux. Call them or check them out on their website. It is DryLux.com.